Hey, Marco, good to see you.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, good. Well, good to have you back. I'm just to let everyone know, I'm Meg Waldron. I have my master's in sports psychology, and I was an elite high school athlete in New Jersey and ran competitively Division I in college, and was picked one of the top 10 New Jersey female high school athletes of the 20th century.
Nice.
Seems like a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And we're here with Marco Langon, senior at Bridgewater Raritan High School, just down the road from Bernardsville, where I used to beat the pavement. And you train with a private coach, Villanova commit, coming off of a 4:05.9 PR at the John Hay Distance Fest in the mile, and getting psyched up for New Balance Nationals here where I reside in Philly, in Franklin Field, the historic Franklin Field. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm coming off a little bit of a sickness. That was happening like the day of me running the 4:05. I had like aches and chills in my body and everything. And I just knew after the race I was going to get sick. And the plan was to run sectionals the next day. And just right after this, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to run it. I got home and my temperature was like 102. So we pretty much ditched that plan, took a couple of days off, like 3 days off, and then went back to easy running. And it ended up being like a lot worse than I thought. I just had a really bad cough. And I'm like a lot of congestion and everything. And we ended up going to the doctor a couple of days ago, and I got prescribed like an antibiotic that I'm taking right now, and the cough has like gone away a bit.
So, I do know that you like pride yourself on needing very little sleep.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if it's time to reevaluate that based on all of the data out there that people your age need 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I know after Penn Relays, when I was sick there, I definitely started sleeping a lot more. And I think I've gotten a little bit better on the sleep. I think this was just something that came from like allergies and then that turning into an infection. And it was something like I just needed like a good medicine for.
All right, good. Well, I think I told you that we go through sleep cycles, and the fourth cycle that we go through is called slow wave sleep. And that's your body producing human growth hormone, and it repairs and builds muscles. So it's like free, legal, performance enhancing drugs. So right. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, I guess I gotta start sleeping.
Yeah, if that's not motivation, I don't know what is. You gotta be competitive, right? All right, so the question that maybe nobody has asked you on social media yet, that is a huge part of every person's senior year is, did you go to the senior prom, and who did you go with if you did?
So I actually went to I didn't go to my senior prom because I didn't want to have to pay for my ticket or my date's ticket, and like I had a date to go and everything, and then I saw there was a long line to get like the prom tickets, and then I saw it was like $95, $100 a ticket, and then like you'd have to pay to like use the limo and everything, and I was just like, I don't feel like doing that. But I did go to Red Bank Catholic's prom with one of the girls on the team, and that was definitely a really fun time. Like a lot of the like CBA runners were there, and like obviously the Red Bank Catholic girls were there.
So are we gonna get a name?
Grace Anderson. I ended up going with her. She's a good friend of mine. She runs on the team, so we see each other like pretty often. And just like, she actually asked me back in like, I think like a week before like Meet a Champs indoor, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go. Not thinking about like the timing of when it was or anything, and it was happened to be on the same exact day as Arcadia. And I told my coach, and I was like, well, I could just say like, I have to go to the prom and I could go race at Arcadia. And he's like, no, don't do that. Just go to the prom and have fun. So we ended up doing that, and it was a nice time.
Nice, nice. What did you wear?
I
That's
wore
like
a
really what we're getting at. What did you wear?
yeah. I wore a tux with a red bow tie and a red vest and a white shirt. I wanted to wear a black shirt, but my coach said that that was way too much black, and
Yeah,
that
that might be two Sopranos.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
big Sopranos fan, so I would have liked to look like a little mobster myself.
All right, all right. Well, cool. All right, so we have your New Balance Nationals coming up this weekend. What are you running?
I'm running the 1 mile on Sunday.
All right, what's the plan?
I just want to go race with no regrets, and I mean, I go into races obviously with a plan to win, and I know I'm good enough and smart enough to be able to win, but I know that this is a type of race where I'm just gonna have to give everything I have, and it's not like a race where you can just sit and kick because of like one of the kids that's in the field, Gary Martins. He's a sub 4 miler, so I know it's not gonna be a race where I could just sit in the back and work my way up. It's not gonna go out tactical. So I know that if I just go out, give everything I have, one, I'm not gonna regret it, even if I blow up and end up running 450 or something like that, which hopefully would not happen. But I know that the way to really get in his head is being step by step with him. And if I'm in front of him at 1K, he's going to start questioning himself and questioning why he's in the race. So that's kind of the goal, just to go in with that mentality of just all or nothing.
So you want your tactics to take up some real estate in your opponent's head.
Yeah, that's part of the tactics. I think really the main thing is just not being afraid to blow up. And obviously, like, there's races where I know I'm the one who can sit and kick and I have the best kick in the field. And I still do. I think I have one of the best kicks in the country. Just like there's time, like this outdoor season has been a little bit of like a rough one, just with sickness and hard to like get races and everything. And so pretty much this is really going to be the 100% the biggest race of the season where I'm not sick. And I mean, I'm coming off of sickness, but hopefully I'll be fine then. But really, I think just the plan is just to not be afraid to blow up and go out. And if that means going out in 2:30 through K and having the last quarter be 67 and just dying, then that's how it's meant to be. But I think I'm fit enough to win the race. I think I'm strong enough. I trust my training. I had a great workout today. But yeah, so I really think that's the key.
Well, you sound like an incredibly brave person. You know, it's so interesting because with sports, you sort of know going into it, it's a winning and losing game, and it's a healthy and injured game, right?
Exactly.
And you're rolling the dice. And as you get better, you have more strategies, more tools to draw from, and that kind of thing. And I'm constantly amazed still by the number of athletes who are competing who they're doing it, but they sort of lack a certain bravery. You clearly don't. So what would you say is bravery to you?
I wouldn't say it's really necessarily bravery. I mean, I wouldn't define it as that for myself specifically. I think like I'm a very stubborn kid. I like risk factors, and I love I like going into a race with the biggest chance that I could lose. Like if I'm just going in there and I'm going to be able to win the race, or there's a very big chance I'm going to win the race, it's not as fun. Like I like gambling. I think it's cool. I think just going in, just risking everything. Like obviously it's not like I'm risking my life or anything with one race, but like it almost seems that way. Just going in there and really just taking bull by the horns and not caring what happens and just going out and going to try to win. And I like proving people wrong, and I like proving that I'm just better. And obviously it doesn't work out that way all the time, but like a really big goal of mine is just to be so good that it's hard for people to beat me. And I want to be the one like almost controlling the race. Like I like tactical. I obviously prefer tactical races where I could control it from the back, and even though I'm not in first place, I'm still in control of the race. And that like obviously as the years progress and everything, it's getting harder and harder to do that because everyone just wants to go out balls to the wall. And that's something I'm going to have to learn how to do. And I think having a race like this, I'm just going to go out there and go as hard as I can and still have a little something to left in the tank to go at the end.
So it's interesting. So you're sort of saying it's actually a part of you to want to go in and have the biggest risk.
Yeah, I like races
versus having to think about it and saying, I need to be brave today. It's like just totally part of you.
I don't think it's about bravery. I think it's more about like, I don't know, I'm a little crazy when it comes to wanting to like just bet on things, or like it's not fun, but like it's almost like imagine playing a game of poker or blackjack or something, and you don't put money in, but you still have chips. So the chips are just pretty much worthless. Like you're just throwing in, you're going to go all in every time. And it's just not like, it's not fun, and no one's going to take it seriously. Everyone's just going to go all in and joke around. But like when you're put $2,000, $3,000 in there and are playing with real money, it makes it more interesting and it makes it more fun. And that's what I kind of think racing is like.
So you're playing with real money.
Essentially. Well, right now I'm really just playing with house money. I have nothing to lose. I go in the best guy in the race is the one with nothing to lose, I think. So essentially that.
So what do you feel like has been so far like the highlight of your track season? I know you've had some colds, although you've had two big PRs this season, despite that. At least.
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about the outdoor track season?
Yeah, outdoor track season. What's been a highlight so far?
To be honest, the highlight has really been the behind the scenes where like we know, like really it's just me and my coach and obviously the kids on the Red Bank team and my parents like who know what's going on in my life and know like that I'm getting sick and it's very hard to come back from that because like a sickness, it could start like a week in advance and you can start feeling drained and then you're actually sick for like a week. And then the sickness is still lingering for like another week or two. So that's like a month where you're just sick. So I really haven't had like the best season, but I think behind the scenes getting recovered and just really like sticking it in there and just having fun, that's kind of been the highlight. I think like even though I was like obviously my body was feeling horrible at the John Hayes meet, that school day I was just like all in my head, all nervous, and I was like my body was just like shivering, and we still just decided to race, and I ended up running 4:05, which wasn't that bad, and I had a really good time that night. Like afterwards, me, one of the runners in the race, Rob Napolitano, my coach, and another kid, Pat, we all went to Dairy Queen and then went to Wendy's, and I think we got back to my car at like 12 a.m. 12 a.m. And then I drove home and I think I got home at like 12:30 or 12:40. So it was just a fun night. But then the next day I was just drained and I was like, yeah, I'm not having a great time right now. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I don't really think there's necessarily any highlights. It's more just like the behind the scenes part of it.
Yeah, that's so important. I mean, I still keep in touch with my high school teammates. And a couple summers ago, we had like a 3-day reunion in Bernardsville and of all the girls who ran in the 80s. And we all got together. And it just is like when you look at me further down the road in life, you look back and it becomes like these magical days of your life that give you intangible things in your life you can't even put words to.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
make it all worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually want to go back to that subject of what was a highlight. I think a very, very nice race that I had was I ran 4:07. It wasn't anything special. It was like I ran it solo, but it was a night of the Homedale Royal Rumble, and it was just some race that Runners High puts together, and my coach just said we could run this if you want to, and just go out and just practice. And this was coming back off of like the pen, and I ran like a really bad 800 earlier this season, And he just said, we just need to get you back in the rhythm. So that week I ran the 2 mile on Tuesday, and then I ran the mile on Thursday. And pretty much after the 2 mile, me and my friend, we went out, we got pizza and some ice cream. And then I just was like, I just want to go out in the mile on Thursday and just see what I could do. And I went out and I ended up running 407, which wasn't horrible, but it was my last New Jersey high school race on New Jersey soil. And like, I ran it in front of people that I like being around. I ran in front of Red Band kids, pretty much almost all of the Shore Conference. Like, they're just very great kids to be around. Like, I honestly like love being with them and training with them, running with them, or even just hanging out with them at meets. It's always a fun time there.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. Was being able to race in front of the people that I like enjoy most.
That's touching.
Yeah.
Did you
cool.
save your race bib from that?
I don't think we had a bib, but we had race numbers.
Different now. Yeah. I still have my paper race bib from my
I actually have
champions.
I have the John Hayes Distance Festival bib where I had to write the names, and my handwriting's shitty as it is, so it was kind of hard to read. But I drew them for everyone on the runner's high team, which was
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, hang on to that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
what would you say, like, there's kids that watch this who follow you and are inspired by you, young people. And I would say like the majority of people that reach out to me for mental performance coaching struggle with some kind of anxiety, right? And you seem to, if you've had any anxiety in your development, seem to have overcome that. Like, if I gave you the sports psychology hat, you're now the sports psychology consultant, what would you say to young runners struggling with anxiety when they're getting better and they're coming up to these bigger races?
I wouldn't say, I feel like when you get to the level, you should just have confidence in yourself. I mean, I'll be 100% honest on here. During the in the beginning of the season, probably before I ran the 2 mile, that was like before I ran the 1 mile, like during that week, it was like the conference or county 2 mile or something. But it was like 9:12. It was I was just pretty much running a tempo run at that point. And before that, I would say after Penn relays, after the 800 that I ran like 157, which I literally did that equivalent in a workout today. So I don't know what happened there, but I had a really big low, and I don't want to say it was a depression type of thing, but I just want to say it was just I was just low. The excitement kind of wasn't there in a way, because I think that I honestly think it's the New Jersey weather during that time. I want to blame it on that. And because it was like just cold, windy, sometimes nice out, most of the time not nice. And this is like April, May, or April and pretty much all of April and early May. It just was not really a good time. I was kind of just not really, I was in it, but I wasn't like, I think like the sickness and everything and me just running bad at Penn really screwed with my head. And it's something that I had to just realize I had to overcome. And a great friend of mine and friend of my coaches, Ryan Grody, one of the greatest people I've ever met. He's honestly, like, honest to God, one of the reasons how I was able to get out of that. And he just said, I'm the same exact person that I was during cross country. I'm the same person I was during indoor track. And he said, and pretty much I was talking to my coach too, and he was just saying that, like, the obviously you go from such a high indoor, just a bunch of races packed back to back to back to back, and there was just still so much stuff going on. And there was like a rivalry, and Meet the Champs like really meant something. And that really just like had me excited and hyped up and amped up. And going from that to a week, not even break, then to just having shitty New Jersey weather. And then Sorry about that.
That's all right.
My mom called me. But where was I at? Oh yeah.
So yeah, you
pretty
said
much.
you had a low point and then you talked to Ryan and he said you're still the same runner you were in cross country season.
Yeah, and I realized like when I was running then, I just had an unbreakable amount of confidence and even indoor I had the same thing. And I still obviously have that same confidence. Just like there hasn't been many races outdoor that I could do it in. And like we want to get to the anxiety point. I think the big thing for me was just knowing that I could do it and believing in myself. Like last year, I had a pretty bad year last year, and it just made me so amped up and so fired up. And with obviously the preseason rankings that everyone and their mom knows about, like that really just had me amped up to keep going and run fast. And I think it was just a
So
big.
it sounds like, first of all, I know Ryan. I was one of his high school coaches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And great guy. Used to do something years ago called the Grody poll.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
big
yeah. And a lot of
I
people
said,
every now and then you see
I
people on
said,
Let's Run saying, "Where's the Grody poll?"
I definitely it's funny that you mentioned that because I texted him the other day on Twitter saying that it would be a big gift to the NCAA and myself if you came back with the Grody poll. And he was like, it would absolutely fucking not be a great gift. I think that the Grody poll needs to come back. And for anyone watching this, if you don't know what the Grody poll is, all you have to do is look it up. It's GROTE poll, Let's Run.
Yeah.
And there's like
GROTE poll.
Yeah, you could it's pretty much he used to rank the cross country teams, and he would have his own twist on it, and he would pretty much say things that you probably aren't able to say today, but like I don't know, I think people don't really have a sense of humor as they once did, and people are a lot softer. So
Yeah.
but I think, in my honest opinion, I think the Grody poll would be great for the sport and great for
We'll get a poll going on Twitter or something. We'll start raising the momentum. All right. So if your advice, if I were to synthesize that, because you say you felt like you were in that place, you hit kind of a low point. Your advice to say a anxious, worried high school or middle school runner is number one, like talk to someone. So you talk to Ryan, talk to someone who knows about running, who's maybe a little older than you that can give you some wisdom. So you talk to Ryan, and then you instead of focusing on like negative things, you focused on all the hard work you've done and the good races you've done.
Exactly.
Not the bad races, not the bad weather. So you focus on positive things.
Exactly. And just get super excited and amped up. And I'd say there's no reason to be like, obviously I say this now, but I know I'd be nervous as hell if I was towing the line, but like there's no need to really be nervous because at that, like, or don't be scared. It's good to be nervous because it shows that you give a shit, but don't be scared because like you haven't even ran the race yet. Why would you think about losing? Why would you think about doing bad? I know every race that I've ran so far, as bad as I was doing, as sick as I was, I just thought I was going to do good, and that's what ended up happening. I've either ran well, and even when I ran bad, I just kind of forget about it and move on. But
believe in yourself and move on past bad old results.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have your cards handy? Are you going to show us another match?
No, I don't have them on me right now, actually. There's somewhere.
So you're in good track shape, but you're not in good card shape?
I'm probably in pretty good card shape too, but I will make sure for next time I have a deck nearby.
All right. Well, we're excited to welcome you down here in Philly this weekend, and we'll be cheering for you in the stands, Marco.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
All right. You take care.
Yep, you too. Have a good one. Bye.